Back alongside Frankie Corrado. All right, Frankie. Darren Dreger tells us the Leafs and Mitch Marner's camp right now feel like they are in a, quote, good place.
Okay.
All right, so that's the team. That's the player. What about from a fan's perspective? As a fan, should a fan feel like, hey, we're in a good place because we're going to roll out huge cash to Mitch Marner on a long-term contract? Essentially, we're going to roll out the same guys that we rolled out last year, and it's going to be the same thing at the end of the playoffs.
Listen, you know this market, okay? There's two types of Leaf fans. There are the Leaf fans that are forever optimistic. This is our year. These are our guys. They're going to be able to do it.
Leaf fans can't still be optimistic after all they've seen.
You know there's the other half of Leaf fans who are eternally pessimistic, and everyone needs to go.
Or
and
realistic
we need to
and say we can't win with this group.
It may be realistic, but things have changed around the team. There's a new coach now, so now you get to see how that works. How different does the team play? There's a new captain. Does the team walk different? Does the team talk different?
It's still the same bodies making huge bucks.
It's the same bones, but you've changed a few things around it. So I can buy when they say that they're in a good place because there's a little bit of optimism around how this can look this year. If you were bringing back the same coach, if you were bringing back the same complexion of the group as far as, how the leadership is going to shake out, I can understand how everyone's saying, guys, what are we doing here? Like, it's time that things change. They have changed enough around the frills to get to a place where they say that they are in a good place. Now, whether all of Leafs Nation is buying that or not, that remains to be seen on how they play, to start the year and into the playoffs.
All right. What's the Leafs' mandate right now? At this point, he's not re-signed. Do they absolutely have to get him re-signed before the start of the regular season? Do they allow the regular season to play out and say, let's get him signed before the playoffs? Or do you wait to see what he does in the playoffs, wait to see if he's successful, and then say, now let's try to sign him, because then your window's really, really closed and you may lose him for nothing?
That would be the most logical point of view.
Which one?
Is to say that let's get down the road. Let's see how things look in the playoffs this year, and then let's decide if we want to keep you around for the long term. But
then you could lose him for nothing.
You could lose him for nothing. And we just saw, if we go to a different sport, let's go to the Dallas Cowboys, let's go to the NFL. Jerry Jones kind of made it known he was going to make a hard stance on CeeDee Lamb and on Dak Prescott. And you know what happened? Both those guys got signed, and Dak Prescott got more money than anyone's ever gotten in the NFL. So you can try and take a hard stance on guys like this, but guess what? You don't want to lose that talent. You don't want to lose on what could have been. So, yeah, I don't know if there's anything that Marner can show the Leafs during the regular season that would tell you, okay, we have to get this guy signed up. He's done it all during the regular season. It's time to show it in the playoffs, but I don't think the Leafs are afforded that luxury to go that far down the road and say, okay, now we'll do it, because you risk losing the guy for nothing after.
For the Leaf fans watching and saying the Leafs at the end of last season and the year in review when Keith Pelley took over as the head of Maple Leaf Sports and Entertainment, the thought was, it's not good enough not to win. We got to win right now. We're not here just to sell shirts. Has this organization done enough right now, Mitch Marner included, and his future included, to say we're going to be different moving forward, or is this just more of the same?
Not overly different, but it's not more of the same. It's a little bit different. Let's call it for what it is. It's a little bit different. It's not a drastic overhaul. And I think, given the way things have gone over the last 9 years.
Different enough to win. That's my question.
It's different enough to look different. That's what it is.
So
is it
not different enough to win.
Is it the Florida Panthers? No, this team is not going to play like the Florida Panthers this year. They're not going to be the Edmonton Oilers. They're going to be somewhere in that middle when it comes to Boston, Tampa, New York, New Jersey. They're in that clump of teams, but they're not going to be a clear-cut favorite, and maybe that's better for them. Maybe they don't need to be a clear-cut favorite, but it's different to be different. It doesn't necessarily look different in the sense that now all of a sudden these guys are knocking on the door to winning. They're knocking on the door to maybe winning a round in the playoffs more than anything.
You certainly get the sense if this organization is going to turn it around and start to win, they need a major shakeup. The only question is Mitch Marner involved in that major shakeup, or does he stay long-term with this organization?